we're gonna continue on our date with Saber. And I guess so far, it hasn't been all that, I guess, extraordinary, but now we've reached the restaurant. How are we gonna impress Saber at the restaurant? What does Shiro have in mind? Let's see. I complain once we're seated at the table. Oh, it was Rin's idea. That was the only advice Tosaka gave me last night. I trusted her and I chose this place, but I never thought it would be so fastidious? Fastidious? How you say that? Fastidious? Fastidious. Fancy. I look at the menu. Fortunately, the menu has a version in Japanese as well, so I have no problems reading it. But the trouble is, I can't understand what kind of food it is from the name, and the prices are outrageous. I groan, looking at the menu. This restaurant's too high class for you, Shiro?
Shiro, ここには昼食をとるために立ち寄ったのではないのですか?
I hear a rather frail voice from the other side of the table.
そうなんだが、いかんせん勝手が違うというか。
I raise my head, and then there's Saber, with an expression like a cornered rabbit.
Saber?
落ち着かないのなら、今だけでも屋敷に戻りましょう。シローが用意してくれるものの方が私は好みです。
ね、それは家に帰りたいってことか。
いえ、屋敷に帰りたいわけではなくですね。今日はひどく緊張したので、普段より疲れてしまったのです。
本当か。そっか。ここで飯にして一息ついたらまた街を出歩こうと思ったんだけど、セイバーが疲れたんならしばらくここで休憩しようか。
まさかそのようなことはありません。疲れたというのは語弊がありました。正しくはですね。
I think it's more... I don't know. I think she's more mentally exhausted? Or, well... Saber stops. The small gurgling sound was fortunately small enough that only I could hear. No, not mentally exhausted. Just famished. Oh, if she was hungry, she could have just told me.
申し訳ありません。つまり、昼食は早めにしてもらえると助かるということです。
了解。そうだな。面白みがないけど、無難なところを頼んでみて、さっさと飯にありつこうか。
It's simple if all we want are light snacks. I ordered 2 things from the lunch menu and decided to eat quickly. I consider what to do in the afternoon while drinking the after-meal coffee. What I learned this morning is that anything physical is not good. Saber gets serious when it comes to contests. That's good for me, but it makes Saber stand out even more. After we finished the game, Saber got angry because she caught all the attention she wanted to avoid.
そんなわけで体を動かすのは避けると。なあ、セイバー、2度目になるけど、どこか行きたいところってあるか？
私にですか？いえ、特にはありません。私ではわかりませんから、このままシローにお任せします。
Saying so, Saber lifts her teacup. Saber ordered English tea, and it seems she really likes the taste. We don't have much English tea at my place, and even if we did, it's all instant tea bags. It seems Saber was a bit dissatisfied with the drinks at my house, as she seems to like English tea. English tea, English tea, English tea. I should put that into consideration starting tonight. You know, I think I remember something. Like, I remember a conversation, or rather, I think it was a monologue actually from Shiro about English tea from the very beginning. He was worried about Rin, you know, drinking English tea, and now he's worried about Saber drinking English tea. And obviously, he's more concerned about Saber. So that's why he's making the consideration to actually get some English tea. Amazing. That cracked the case. Anyway, Saber is sitting there and drinking tea. She doesn't seem happy or bored. If I had to use one word to describe her, it would be that she looks natural. She drinks her tea sitting up straight in the shadows of the streaming sunlight. Even though this is the first time I've seen such a thing, it doesn't seem strange. It feels like I've seen such a scene before. Why do I feel that? The Saber I know is a tense girl who's always holding a sword and fighting.
Ah, so ka.
But it's only natural. I also know her attitude after she lets go of her sword. Once she stops fighting, Saber has always been calm and gentle. This scene looks natural rather than new because this is her true nature. No matter how superior she is as a swordsman, it is natural for Saber to be like this. Rather, it's abnormal for her to hold a sword at all. I mean, that's your opinion, Shiro. I once thought in my dream that she wasn't suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong. No matter how superior her technique, or no matter how many battles she's experienced, as long as she is who she is, it can't have been a comfortable place to be. So this is natural. Saber's resting, not holding a sword. This calm scene is the way she should be. Well, I don't know. We do the same thing in the afternoon. I go to every place I can think of, and Saber follows me silently. But it's not as painful as it was in the morning, because happy music is playing. I don't know if it's because I'm getting used to it, or whether Saber is complying. Saber still isn't talkative, but if I look closely, her expression isn't like it is when she's mad. There's a feeling of accomplishment and happiness when I see Saber leave a shop with light steps. So, considering many factors that might make Saber happy from many angles, it's the store with a bunch of stuffed animals. Or at least, well, I guess it's a section of a store. A big, maybe like a big old Toys R Us. Well, actually, is Toys R Us still alive? I don't know. Okay. I'm a bit dubious, but I've determined that this shop will be the best suited for Saber. And more importantly, is there a Toys R Us in Japan? Maybe, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Saber stands there, dumbfounded. I don't know if her shoulders are shaking because she's angry or because she's deeply moved.
シロ、ここは。
街で一番品揃えのいいぬいぐるみ屋だってさ。男子禁制らしいんで立ち寄ったことはなかったけど。
Oh, it's specifically a stuffed animal shop. Stuffed animals everywhere and all the time. Of course, there's actually not a rule like that. But since there's only women, it's like an unwritten rule. To prove there are only girls in here. The golden-haired Saber is being stared at, but being a guy, I'm being glared at. Is it really that segregated? I mean, I would think another kind of store would be more, what's the word? It would be more out of place for a man to be at in a different kind of store, not a stuffed animal store. I mean, like, for example, I don't know, like, you just like stuffed animals. Like, I don't know how that's, I don't know why that's weird. Oh well. I'm sure they want to tell me not to come into their sanctuary. Is it really that sacred? I don't know. I feel the same way. I would not approve of men entering this place. Really? This is such a weird norm to me.
せっかく来たんだから周りは気にせず見て回ろう。そういえば好きな動物っているか？
主に獅子や豹などは愛らしいと思っているのですが、おかしいでしょうか。
I look away instantly and contain my laughter. The funny thing is, Saber is strange for thinking she's strange for thinking lions are cute.
シロ、今の行為は不自然です。何か言われのない怒りを覚えるのですが、私の気のせいでしょうか。
いや、悪い悪い。ライオンってのがあんまりにもセイバーらしかったんで、つい笑っちまった。
人の趣味を笑うのは良くないことです、シロ。それにライオンも悪くありません。だ
からすまなかったって。お詫びにいいとこに連れてくから、それで機嫌を直してくれ。
I go into the store while trying to hold my laughter. Well, it looks like the stuffed animals are that way. So, it's taken about an hour to go around the store. I looked at Saber staring at stuffed animals and felt really nervous with all the girls there. Anyways, it was the most tiring hour so far. I feel like, is that a thing? I still don't get it. Like, stuffed animals are exclusively for girls? That's weird to me. Yes. Excuse me. But the worst part, we've only looked through half the store. It took us this long to look at just half of it because Saber was frequently paralyzed. I mean, Saber kept staring down stuffed animals. It looks like Saber is interested in the other half too, so I'll have to accompany her.
シロ、どうしたのです？ため息をついて。歩き通して疲れてしまったとか。
ああ、ちょっと疲れた。こんな程度で音を上げるほどやわじゃないんだけどな。ここは特別だ。やっぱり慣れないことはするもんじゃないのか。
Let out a big sigh. I don't mind being looked at by other people while walking with Saber, but a girl's only place like this is really uncomfortable. I still don't get it. Boredom sometimes tires one's body. Is it a Japan thing, or maybe I'm out of touch, or maybe it is.
そういうセイバーは大丈夫か？こういう店初めてだろ？疲れたんなら言ってくれ。
Either I'm out of touch, or it's the game that is wrong, or the visual novel that is wrong.
確かに私も落ち着きませんが、シロの方が居心地が悪そうです。ここだけではなく、先ほどの店もその前の店でもそうでした。まさかとは思うのですが、シロは自分で行きたくない場所を選んでいるのではないですか？
For me, the words are enough to cast away my worries.
そうだな。正直に言えば、あえて苦手なところを選んでるけど。
やはりどうかしています、シロ。慣れないと分かっていて、なぜこのような場所ばかり選ぶのです。それではあなたが。
いや、だって女の子にはこういう場所のが似合うだろう。遊びに行こうって連れ出したのは俺なんだから。今日はセイバーの日なわけだし。それにそう居心地悪くないぞ。セイバーがいるから大丈夫。隣にこれだけ美人がいるんだから、妬まれることはあれ、場違いだって思われることもないし。
何をバカな。武装していなくても私はサーバントです。いかに非戦闘時だからといって私を女性扱いする必要はありません。 普段通りサーバントとして扱ってください。
バカ。
バカはそっちだ。普段通りも何も、セイバーは初めっから女の子じゃないか。別に今日だけ気を使ってるわけじゃないし、今日の俺っていつもと違うか。
In astonishment, Saber opens her mouth as if she's just realized that.
いえ、同じです。あなたはいつも通りの白でした。
だろ？だから俺に気を使う必要なんてないぞ。ほら、それじゃ行こう。一番気に入ったものを買うんだから、あと半分も見ないとダメだろ。
I take Saber's hand. Saber silently follows me.
そうでした。初めからそうだったのに、今になって気がつくなんて。
She murmurs to herself. The unusual day goes by quickly. Saber never laughed, nor could I laugh from my heart. It's not like there was any memorable moment, nor was it so boring that I regret doing it. To be frank, this was nothing. Saber might have been happier if we stayed at the mansion and trained together. But today wasn't bad. It wasn't fun or boring, but I can be proud of it in the end. After the battle is over, and everything goes back to normal, it would be too sad if all the time Saber and I had spent was spent fighting. Even if it's something stupid. She has to spend some time not fighting, or there's no point in her being here. So I can be proud of myself for now. The end is near, and everything comes to an end, and when there's no more need to fight. If Saber will remember this moment, and remember that this happened, that alone is enough for me to be proud of. We go home on foot, because Saber said,
帰りは歩いて行きましょう。
just as I decided to go home by bus. There's some wind now. The vivid setting sun is lighting the bridge red. Saber notices something and stops. She is watching a mountain of rubble. It's not that tall, even though it's a mountain of rubble. Steel frames and the likes are piled right up to the water's surface and are slightly distorting the flow of the river. I don't know why, but it seems like a ship sank or something, and pieces of it flowed into a mountain. I heard the local residents have been demanding its removal for a long time since it damages the beautiful sight.
なんだよ、セイバー。あれが気になったのか？
いえ、まだ残っていたのかと。あれの原因は私ですから。前回の戦いで水上戦を余儀なくされ、ここで宝具を使ってしまった。
Oh, that's interesting. Like, yeah, that's just an interesting tidbit. Like, she caused like a little rubble in the river.
被害は川を干上がらせただけでしたが、運悪く停泊していた船を巻き込んでしまったのです。
はあ？巻き込んだって、まさかエクスカリバーにか。
Destroyed someone's ship. You're gonna pay for that, Saber? I guess she doesn't have any money, so.
そうなのですが、幸い乗客はいませんでしたし、被害も大きくなかったんです。川だって今では元通りですし、そう怒らなくともいいではありませんか。私だって反省しているのですから。
I should watch out. I have to take care to only use Excalibur in an open place like this.
シロ、まだ怒っていますか？
いや、別に怒ってない。ただびっくりしただけだ。あとはまあ、前回の名残って結構あるんだなって。
Yeah, if there are other evidence, like other pieces of evidence from the last war, we might be able to find out something. You know, a clue. You know? Maybe become a detective or something. Detective Tosaka on the case.
中央公園のあれのに比べたら 川の瓦礫なんて問題じゃないだろう。ま、船の持ち主は災難だったとは思うが。
それはご安心を。船の持ち主には保険が下りたと桐次が言っていましたし、もともと緩衝材にするつもりで船を止めさせたのですから。船体を壁に見立てて砲具の威力を削いだのですね。
Oh, it was put there deliberately? Interesting. Kiritsugu did that?
なんだ、じゃあ初めから承知で船を壊したってことか。
承知していたわけではありません。あれは桐次が私に黙って用意していたものです。そうですね、桐次には戦いの流れが読めていたのでしょう。船を用意する前もその後も一言も口にしなかったので気がつきませんでしたが。
Saber looks down at the river yearningly. Interesting that Kiritsugu just has these plans and just never tells Saber anything during the last war, I guess. The water surface reflects the sunset. The wind coming from the river is a bit strong and flutters Saber's hair. Is it because she looks so beautiful like that?
Saber, 今日は楽しかったか?
No, Shiro, this was the worst day ever. I was assaulted by a sudden fear that Saber might just disappear, and I asked something I don't need to ask.
はい。何か言いましたか、シロ。
言った。今日は楽しかったか聞いた。
She gasps. Saber opens her eyes in amazement.
そうですね。新鮮でないと言えば嘘になります。
She says so in a voice of hope, as if such a thing will never happen again. I knew what her answer would be. All I can do now is nod and just go home. Everything can return to the way it was, just like that.
そうか。
I nod, looking at Saber.
ならまた行こう。こんなの別に今回限りってわけじゃないんだから。
And I say something I won't be able to take back. Saber freezes. She must have realized what I want to say. She shakes her head, looking directly at me, as if saying there won't be a next time. As if this mistake is only for today.
それはなぜ?
I know Saber's answer, but I ask, not liking the answer I expect.
なぜも何もない。サーバントは戦うために存在するものです。今日のような行為は自らの存在を否定することになる。シローが休憩すべきだと判断したから従いましたが、もうこの先は体を休める必要はないでしょう。残る敵は少ない。シローが命じるなら今すぐにでもランサーを探し出したいほどですが。
She looks at me with eyes full of fire. Saber is saying she will start fighting right now if I order it. That causes me to get mad about all the things I can't approve of.
なんだよそれ。そんなに戦いたいのか、お前は。
当然でしょう。戦えば戦うほど聖杯に近づくのです。私にとって戦闘は何よりも優先すべきことです。それは素人って分かっているはずですが。
ああ、分かってる。だからおかしいんだ。前から言いたかったんだけどな。矛盾してるぞ、お前。セイバーは戦いが大事だって言う割に、自分から戦いたいなんて思ってないだろう。他に手段がないから、いやいや戦ってるに過ぎないんじゃないのか。
そんなことはありません。私は戦闘をためらわない。勝利するためならば手段は選ばないと言ったでしょう。
Yeah, she did say that. And yeah, when we see her when she fights, she doesn't like hesitate. She isn't like a coward like you, Shiro. But that's not a reason to like fighting.
できる範囲でだろ。いいか、セイバー。単純に他のマスターを倒して聖杯を手に入れるって言うんならさ、ライダーみたいに人を襲って力を得ればいい。だけど、セイバーはそれが嫌なんだろう。
Well, it's probably because of her ideals as a knight, right? Not taking innocent lives and all that. She wants to win, but in a very specific way, I guess.
それは
無関係な人間を巻き込みたくないんじゃない。いざ戦いになれば人は死ぬものだとお前はよくわかっている。そう。だからこそお前は戦闘を最小限に抑えたがっていた。戦えば死者は出る。だから早く終わらせたいって。つまりさ、お前は犠牲者が出る戦いってやつがたまらなく怖いんだ。
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why did she want to rush the Holy Grail War? Probably one good reason is that Saber is protecting Shiro, right? So she doesn't want Shiro to be in danger anymore, any more than he already is, you know? Protecting the ones she cares about, at least, you know, like Rin and, well, I guess Ilya now, because she's formed those bonds, as fleeting as they may be. She wants to end it quickly so she can just go away already and no one will be in any more danger. Is what I think Saber wants. After opening her eyes as if she's seen a ghost, she grits her teeth and straightens her stare.
違います。私は戦いを怖がってなどいません。
そうだな。確かにお前は初めから怖がってなんていなかったと思う。そんな個人の恐怖なんて王の使命とやらで塗りつぶされていたんだろうから。だけどそれでもお前は戦いを嫌ってる。お前は単に強くて戦いが上手かっただけだ。けどそれはお前が望んだ才能じゃないだろう。はっきり言うぞ。お前は戦いになんて向いていない。本当は剣を取ることさえ嫌だったはずだ。戦うことだけが目的だっていうのはお前自身がお前をごまかすための言い分に過ぎない。
It's so simple. Why didn't you or anybody around you notice it?
シロ、いくらあなたでもそれ以上の侮辱は許しません。
Yeah, Shiro, stop acting so high and mighty when you have a similar problem as well.
図星だから我慢できないんだろ。認めたら戦えなくなるからな。
She grits her teeth. Saber glares at me in anger. I can't back away. If I believe I'm right, I can't run away.
だからやめろよ。お前だってやめたがってるんだろ。剣なんて自分に向いてないって分かってるんだろ。ならやめてしまえばいい。
I'm still a little frustrated that Shiro's telling her not to fight and stuff. I mean, it's progress, I guess, because he's not telling her to stop fighting just because, you know, she's a vulnerable girl or anything like that. It's more so that he understands that Saber doesn't like fighting. You know, she doesn't like conflict. People dying because of her, even though she is good at fighting, right? Because deep down, I guess, she's a good person. That's why Shiro's saying to stop fighting. Even though, I don't know, I disagree a little, but because, like, what does Saber truly want? Do you really know that, Shiro? Only after, like, I don't know, like 14 days? Even less than that, actually, because, Shiro was, like, kidnapped, you know, once by Ilya, so he's been knocked up for a bit. And other times, I guess, you know, he was healing from his wounds as well, so it's not like he interacted with Saber all 14 days, but... Or is it 14 days? Well, I can check, actually, if I save. Right? It's been... yeah, 14 days. So, or rather like 2 weeks, I guess you could say. Do you really know all there is to know about Saber's true intentions and her motivations in just 2 weeks? I don't know. I don't know, Shiro. I don't think you understand completely, but... well, we'll see.
サーバントなんてやめて、もっと自分に向いたことをしろ。
She needs to regain the happiness she have had, or she should have had, as a human. For that,
バカなことを。私に戦う以外の選択肢などありません。この私は聖杯を手に入れるためだけのものです。王の誓いを守るためにこの身を差し出した。それ以外の自分の使い道など私には許されない。
I only exist to obtain the Holy Grail. That annoys me the most. Why does she say ridiculous things like that as if to convince herself? Everyone around her took her word because she kept saying things like that.
バカ、そんなことあるか。道なんていくらでもある。お前はここにいるんだ。昔のお前とは違う。なら、これからは自分のために生きなきゃダメだ。
Living for yourself. That's quite the cliche, isn't it? I always hear that phrase in a lot of animes, actually. Start living for yourself.
間違っても聖杯を。
Final wish she's permitted.
どうでもいい他人のためなんかには使うな。ここにいるなら、セイバーはここで幸せにならなきゃダメだ。
I hear the wind. Saber doesn't answer. She doesn't even nod. She just looks back at me.
その言葉にはうなずけない。私はあなたに従うと契約した。だが、心まで預けたわけではありません、マスター。
She replies with a strong heart.
王の誓いは破れない。私には王として果たさなければならない責務がある。アーサー王の目的は聖杯の入手です。それが叶おうとも、私はアルトリアに戻ることはないでしょう。私の望みは初めから一つだけ。剣を手にした時から、この誓いは永遠に変わらないのですから。
なんでだよ。セイバーがやらなくちゃいけないことは、そんなんじゃないだろう。そんな、最後まで報われないなんて、間違ってる。
Wrong for you to be unrewarded for your actions. I guess that's a thought that Shiro has had ever since he, looked into Saber's past through dreams, I guess. And vice versa, actually. Saber has seen dreams of Shiro's past as well. And I said before that I guess Shiro is, spouting all of this nonsense about, well, not completely nonsense, but there's some truth to it, but about Saber, fulfilling her role as a king, but also should she fight for herself as well and stuff like that, and saying, it's only been 2 weeks, but at the same time they have, I guess, this magical bond that they have, right, through the dreams and stuff. So maybe it's not completely ridiculous to say that Shiro does understand at least a little bit of Saber's Saber's will, her heart, I guess you could say. She mentioned before her kokoro.
お前には聖杯なんて必要ない。それに。
And Saber's wish won't come true. It's impossible to erase everything that's happened.
セイバー、起きてしまったことをやり直すなんてできないんだ。いや、それはやってはいけないことだと思う。そんなことぐらいお前だって気づいてるんじゃないのか。
いいえ、決してそんなことは。
なら言ってやる。たとえどんなにひどい結末だろうと、起きてしまったことを変えるなんてできない。できなかったからやり直しがしたいなんて、そんなのは子供のわがままと同じじゃないか。
Our words end there. Saber doesn't say anything, and I don't have anything to say. The wind has stopped as well. No, the wind hasn't stopped, it's only died down for a second. Another sound of wind. Just as I feel the wind on my cheek.
シローなら分かってくれると思っていた。
The wind has changed into a headwind.
今日一日無意に過ごし、言いたかったことはそれだけですか？
Ooh. Savage. A cold voice. It contains only rejection.
思い上がらないでほしい。あなた程度の人間に私の何がわかるというのです。あなたに私に踏み入る権利などない。戦うなですか？私に守られなければならない未熟なマスターが何を。そのような世まい事を吐くのは一人で戦えるようになってからにしてください。
Ooh, Saber hitting him with the cold, hard truth. You dummy, Shiro.
まあそんなことは永遠にありえないでしょうが。
Whoa! What a burn.
違う。世まい事って俺は。
ですから世まい事でしょう。自分のことを考えろですって。あなたは自分の命が感情に入っていない。あなたは私が間違っていると言いますが、あなたの方こそ何かを間違えている。自身より他人を優先するなど死者の考えだ。自身の命の重みも知らない大バカ者がよくもそんなことを言えたものです。
セイバー、お前。
勘に触りましたか？ならいっそのこと契約を解除しても構いません。どうせあなたは聖杯を必要としていない。あとは私一人でマスターを破り聖杯を手に入れるだけですから。そんなに戦うのが嫌ならばあなたは遠くで隠れていればいいでしょう。
セイバー、お前それ本気で言ってるのか？
I ask with a trembling voice. My teeth are chattering because I'm suppressing my emotion.
当然です。私の目的は聖杯だけ。それ以外のことなど余計だ。シロ、それはあなたも例外ではありません。
I stop breathing. I bare my head going white and manage to restart my stopped heart.
このわからずや。へい、そんなに戦いたいってんなら勝手にしろ。もう俺は知らないからな。
Baka! But I can't stop my emotions. I yell what sounds like an excuse and run away from Saber. I get away from her. But for a moment, I think I see Saber standing there absent-mindedly. I run. I keep running, not knowing what's so vexing or maddening.
それ以外のことなど余計だ。シロ、それはあなたも。
Get rejected. I grit my teeth. Just remembering it makes me white out and I might run into a pole or something. No, it would be easy if I could do that. If I was just angry at Saber, I could just take it out on something. But that's not the cause of this fury. It's not Saber that I'm mad at. It's so vexing, and I keep running so hard because I hate how weak I am. Saber was standing there absent-mindedly. The words she said just as the wind changed directions.
シロなら分かってくれると思っていた。
くそ、そんなのわかるか、バカ。
I spit that out, then regret it so much that I almost fall. I wonder who Shiro's saying is an idiot. You know, he's saying, "You idiot, I don't understand." That could be interpreted as Saber, "You idiot, I don't understand." Or it could be, he's calling himself an idiot for not understanding. I think that's more likely. What was it about? Her voice, like a farewell, sounded like she was crying. Come to think of it, maybe those words were the only honest thing she said. Those words, murmured with her head hung. A voice of hope, disappointment, and wishes. Then, who was the betrayer, and who was betrayed? Run all the way back home. Run back to Rin and say, Rin, Saber made me sad. Anyway, I run into my room and shut the door, and then I cry into my pillow. I collapse. I don't want to stand up. I just want to lie down and go to sleep. But my body is still burning. My heart feels like it's splitting open, and my lungs are desperate for air. I ran full speed from the bridge to here. My body must be exhausted. I haven't run enough emotionally, but my body is telling me to calm down. I slowly calm down. I take a deep breath and let it out. And after I settle my breathing, all that fills my head is the question of why I was so enraged. I don't even have to think about it. I ran as if throwing something off of me because I was so powerless. I can't save Saber. That fact is so vexing that I was angry at myself. I can't do anything. I promised to make her laugh. I promised to protect her, but I can't do anything. And that makes me furious.
どうしろってんだ。セイバー自身が自分の幸せを求めていない限り、他人がどうこう言っても無駄だってのに。
That's why I tried so hard, so she'd be able to find her own happiness. But she told me that it was meaningless, and on top of that, she called me a fool.
自身の命の重みも知らない。大バカ者。
What can I do when she says that? I value my life as well. I don't want to do anything that might endanger it. But this has nothing to do with Saber. I think it's unfair of her to bring it up right there. No matter how stupid I am, I'm sure Saber's wrong. But if she denies me like that, I can't do anything. Whatever, she can do whatever she likes. Shiro's just acting like a kid. Which, I mean, he is, technically, so makes sense. I turn over and lie on my stomach. The floor is the only view, so I close my eyes to black out my mind. I don't care about Saber anymore. If the Holy Grail is so important to her, she can go marry it. That's pretty funny, actually. If she's so obstinate that she doesn't understand after I've told her this much, I'll be burned if I associate with her anymore. No, I'll be seriously hurt. Ah, loud. I've already been hurt, though. Not just burned. I met her, fought with her many times, and even saw into the depths of her heart to survive. The heat. I remember the light deep within her. How do I recall such a thing at a time like this? That faraway plain, the memories that girl left behind. If I recall that beauty, it won't matter what Saber says. Anyways, Saber is unfair. I don't know what's so unfair, but I think it's unfair that I don't know what's unfair. It's going in circles. I can't hate her even though I'm this mad, and the more I try to ignore her, the more I can't. It's such a contradiction. But I can't help it. If I can't give up no matter how useless she tells me it is, I have to keep trying till the end. remember her face, about to cry. In the future, will she make that kind of face every time I repeat this?
それでもだ。どんなことになっても、うなずくわけにはいかない。
Even if I'm wrong and Saber's right. If she's really important to me, I can never apologize to her. I thought I heard a sound. When did the sun set? The room is dark. I guess we fell asleep. The sound of the second hand on the clock is annoying.
ちょっと、いつまで寝ぼけてるのよ。いい加減起きてもらわないと困るんだけど。
Man, please comfort me.
だから起きなさいって。もう10時過ぎよ。ご飯を食べさせろってイリアがうるさいんだから、起きて相手をしてあげなさい。
I can imagine Shiro just like bawling his eyes out. Just, you know, telling Ilya and Rin how he got rejected by Saber and stuff. That'd be funny, but I don't think that will happen. An angry voice. That wakes me up completely.
10時過ぎ
I get up quickly.
そう。正確には22時17分。夕飯の時間にしては論外ね。
Nausicaa looks flabbergasted.
すまん、寝てた。すぐに行くから今で待っててくれ。
それはいいけど、シロ、セイバーは？
いや、ここにいないんなら道場か今じゃないのか。
シロ、私はセイバーがいないから聞いてるの。
Well, she found a new master. Because her current master is useless. Tosaka is serious. That tells me what the situation is in an instant.
まさか、あいつ帰ってきてないのか。
ちょっとシロ、帰ってきてないってどういうことよ。
Also, make dinner! Tosaka runs out of the room after me. But I don't have time to explain. I run outside, ignoring Tosaka's words behind me. The town is quiet. A world like yesterday, where all signs of people have vanished. I don't have enough composure to think it's strange now. Saber isn't back. Come to think of it, that's only natural. We argued so much. She said she would fight by herself. So, considering her personality, she really would go and fight by herself. Yeah, she tried to do that last time when she went to Ryukyu Temple. Saber could be anywhere. It's possible that I won't find her and that she's fighting Lancer right now. But still, I came here first. The air by the river is cold. The park is so cold that it feels like frost is packed here. My breath is white, and my cheeks and ears hurt. It's so cold here, so how cold must it be on the bridge where the wind from the river rises? That is where she is standing. Were you just standing here this whole time, Saber? Aren't your legs sore? You need to sit down. Right where I fled from her. Saber is looking at the river, not doing anything. She looking at the long gone sunset? And how long has it been? A few hours already. Don't you have anything else? Don't you have anything better to do, Saber? You really have to stand there the whole time? You weirdo. Her gaze into the distance seems to be watching a red horizon that has already disappeared. That makes me realize she's strong, yet so weak. Her gallant figure must be proof that she could live without anybody's help. But she is also weak. She's also so weak that my hand might go through her if I reach out. She can't do it alone, but she defends her pride until the end. That's why it was the same for me, watching stars that cannot be reached. She stares at the distant set sun, as if she knows nothing else. I can't leave her alone. If I lost, it was a complete loss for me. It made me swear to myself that I would never let her make such a face. I walk on the bridge. I'm making sounds, but Saber doesn't notice. I walk towards her in silence and stand next to her.
Saber, 体冷えるぞ。
She jumps. She must finally have noticed me.
シロ、
Saber turns around as if to question me.
何してんだよ、こんな時間まで。いつまでも帰ってこないから、遠坂が心配してたぞ。
そうですか。それは悪いことをした。
別にいいけどな。けど、なんだってこんなところにいたんだ、お前は。いや、まあ、探すの楽だったからいいけどさ。
Well, I mean, it's, generally speaking, it's proper, procedure if you are a lost child to stay in one place, you know, so the parent can find you.
はい。ここにいたのは、まだ行き先が決まっていなかったからです。シロは勝手にしろと言ったでしょう。ですから勝手にしようと思ったのです。けれど何をするべきか、何をしたいのか、どこに行きたいのか思い浮かばず、ずっとどこに行くべきかを考えていました。
She speaks like a lost child. Yeah, exactly. Saber really is just someone's lost child. She must feel guilty as Saber keeps averting her gaze. We did have that big fight. It's only natural for her to think I'm still mad.
申し訳ありません。リンには世話になったと伝えてください。ランサーを倒し、聖杯を手に入れたのなら、シローの元に戻ります。ですから、それまで。
Is she saying she'll wander around without a place to return to?
何言ってるんだ。お前が帰るところは俺んちだろ。飯だって布団だって、ちゃんとセイバーの分を用意してんだから。
ですが、シローはもう私のことなど知らないと。
そうだよ。セイバーが何考えてるか、俺にはわからない。
So saying, I take Saber's hand.
シロー。
うちに帰るぞ。いくらサーバントだからって、こんなに冷えたら風邪をひく。早く戻って、あったかいものでも食べよう。
Will a server catch a cold? I thought they had like resistance to diseases and stuff, but what do I know?
ですが私は。
それと、言っとくけど、俺は謝らないからな。文句があるなら、今のうちに言っとけよ。
I say so rudely, looking away from Saber. She looks at me, astonished. She looks like she wants to apologize, but I ignore her. That must have worked on her. Saber doesn't say anything and follows while holding my hand. Lewd hand-holding. We come down from the bridge and into the park. It's 11 o'clock. There's nobody in the park, but it's overly decorated with things like the fountain and street lights. We keep walking. Saber is walking slowly. She was standing on that bridge for more than 5 hours. Yeah, more than a few hours, like 5 hours? What are you doing, Saber? Dummy. She must be freezing and be tired as well. She's still not as dumb as Shiro, though. Shiro just runs away because... I don't know. He felt really frustrated and angry, so he just runs away back home, takes a nap, and comes back 5 hours later, and she's still there. She's like a She's like a dog, I guess. A pet dog. She falls forward sometimes as I pull her by the hand.
セイバー、もう少しゆっくり歩こうか。なんか調子が良くなさそうだし。
I turn around to check on her.
いえ、体はとても元気です。ただリンの言葉に踊らされるわけではありませんが、こうして手をつないでいると本当に合いびきのようだなと。
Load. And also, speaking of dogs, I wonder if Lancer's around. I wonder if Lancer would just stab us in the back right now at this very moment. It would be pretty easy. You know, the Shiro and Saber being distracted like this. You know, just like a little stabbed lance at his like neck. Shiro dies. Anyway, so hearing that, I feel my face burn up in an instant.
そうだな。手離そうか。セイバーが迷惑だったらの話だけど。
いいえ、私もこうしている方がいいです。シローの手は温かくて安心します。
Our conversation ends right there. I walk on to hide my embarrassment. Saber silently accompanies me. How much further is it to the mansion? I feel embarrassed by the warmth in my hand as I leave the park. Many things happen today, but if it ends with this warmth, I can change religion and start to pray with that priest, but the instant I think so... Of course, I knew it. Oh, but this voice, I was thinking it was Lancer, but I think it's someone else. Someone we met recently, actually. We meet someone we never should have met. My happy mind freezes in an instant. Goosebumps form all over my body, and my throat won't move as if it's forgotten how to breathe. It must be the same for Saber behind me. Her hand holds me tightly. Just as I feel an unavoidable death, Saber too feels an inconcealable desperation. Oh, you're in your casual clothes? Mr. Goldie. The Golden Servant. The unknown heroic spirit who swept away the bone creatures and even Castor herself without any difficulty. That monster is in front of us, and he looks a little smug. He's so close to us, at a distance with which we could start fighting if we wanted to face a death greater than Berserker. Now he's even more smug. His smug levels are rising. Archer stifles his laughter happily. His eyes aren't looking at me. He's only watching Saber. With his rude red eyes, he's looking at her as if evaluating a work of art. You know, there's some parallels to draw here. You know, how this Mr. Goldie is treating Saber like an object, and how Shiro, in the beginning at least, well, still now a little, but like in the beginning, Shiro just treats Saber like a vulnerable girl to be protected. There's some parallels to draw, I think. Anyway, Saber's presence changes. She must have prepared herself. Unlike me, unable to even move a finger, she's already glaring at that enemy servant.
シロ、何としても衝撃だけは防ぎます。その隙にあなただけは離脱してください。それがどれほど困難かは分かっていますが、あのサーバント相手ではそれが精一杯なのです。
Her back asks me to forgive her. Even Saber can only manage to block his first attack. The chance of his success of retreating from a guy like this is low. Saber is asking for my forgiveness for that low chance. Probably. She knows she has no way to defeat that servant. Well, it looks like our date has made a turn for the worse. Well, I mean, besides the argument, I guess it's even more worse now with the presence of Mr. Goldie. Oh no.